What's up, everyone? You need to stop scrolling right now. This isn't just another headline. Guess what? The first ever XRP Spot ETF is officially live, and that just changed everything. While everyone's distracted, something massive is happening behind the scenes, and most people won't realize until it's too late. We're talking about institutional money, real XRP demand, and a potential domino effect across global markets. Oh, and real quick, if you're new here, this is the new YouTube channel. So chances are you are probably not subscribed just yet. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up. It supports the channel. It's free to do. And hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Because what you're about to hear, this could put you miles ahead of the herd. This isn't a drill. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break it down exactly what this means for your precious XRP, how big this really is, and why the US might be forced to follow Canada's lead fast. Because if you think the ETF era is only about Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're missing the next tidal wave. Let's get into it. Let's roll that beautiful intro. Welcome back. Let's kill the camera. You don't need to see me anymore. Let's talk about the price. Let's talk about the markets. And more importantly, let's talk about what's going on in crypto and the rest of the world. Bitcoin coming in at $104,881. It's currently down about 2% in the past 24 hours. Ethereum coming in at 2,527. It's currently down 2.25%. We are seeing XRP holding down at number 4 spot. Not too bad. It's pretty much the exact same price we were a week ago, coming in at $2.16. It is down 3.67% in the past 24 hours. Total cryptocurrency market cap, 3.26 trillion. Now, look, everything that is going on, I put out the tweet yesterday. I said the markets are going to nuke. I am standing behind that. This is how quick crypto changes, everyone. We can be bullish, bullish, bullish. One thing can trigger a downward trend in the markets that will just be the snowball effect. Now, that's short term. Let's talk long term. Well, nothing's changed long term. A lot of people freaked out over the message I put out yesterday, but nothing has changed. As far as we look at the long term, as far as we look at the bull run, as far as we look at where the prices are going to go in 2025, that all has remained the same. If we get the rate cuts, this bull run extends all the way into 2026, which is absolutely amazing for us because the longer the bull run, the more money that comes in, the higher the prices goes of these altcoins and major cryptocurrency assets out there. If we do not get rate cuts, well, expect the bull run to come to an end in the next 3 to 6 months. I've been talking about this and preaching this for the past couple of months. That is how this is all going to play out. That is exactly what we are looking at here. Moving forward, well, yeah, Bitcoin's going to dip. It's going to correct. Everything that's going on with Iran and Israel, you got to take these world events and factor them into the markets. It's absolutely awful that this war has broken out, that is going on. We need it to come to an end as quickly as possible. And then the markets can resume back up. But for now, my eyes are on Bitcoin. 103 to 104, the exact range we are in, is that 50 moving average, or someone's commenting yesterday, the 50 moving candles. If that gets broken, we will retest that psychological barrier of 100K. Once that gets broken, we are going back down to around 92 to 95,000. And then once that level is hit, we can resume and we go back up to those targets we put out there, 117 to 120. That is what we are focusing on. Then we get over this because let's not let that distract us. Let's forget about price for a hot minute. Let's talk about what went down yesterday because the Senate just passed the Genius Act, landmark legislation to establish the first regulatory framework for payment stablecoins. Says under Senator Tim Scott leadership, we're cementing U.S. leadership in the digital asset space. And Brad Garlinghouse chimed on in. He says, for years, Crypto companies have been calling on Congress to pass crypto legislation and set the rules of the road. This is the first major financial bill since Dodd-Frank, the first crypto bill to pass in Senate, which now moves to the House, a truly historic moment. So if you don't know, the Genius Act, what it is, this is to get stablecoin regulation for payments in the USA. This is a game changer. Why? Very simple. Because for the first time ever, we now have a clear rule book for how stablecoins can operate legally inside of the US. And guess who's ahead of the curve? Ripple with RLUSD, which is built directly on the XRP ledger and can also be used on Ethereum. And now we have seen Circle stablecoin come over to the XRP ledger as well. This law was led by Senator Tim Scott, who cements the US as a digital asset leader and is designed to ensure payment stablecoins are fully backed, transparent, and audited. It seems to me like Tether's in a little bit of trouble here, right? So the US, finally, they're saying yes to innovation, but they will have guardrails that are going to give institutions confidence to finally get involved. But here's where it gets exciting. Ripple's finally getting a green light to push adoption within the US, both with banks and across DeFi. The stablecoin is going to complement everything from day one. It's going to open floodgates for use in remittances, payments, and in enterprise finance. We are finally entering a new phase where legislation isn't the enemy anymore. It's the catalyst. So what's next? Because it's not approved. Well, it has to go to the House. This can take anywhere from a week to a couple of months, depending on the political momentum. But with bipartisan interest in stablecoin rules, I would have to take a guess that it is going to move fast. So once it is signed into law, expect Ripple to accelerate RLUSD rollouts, partner integrations, and potentially announce more institutional support. Bottom line, folks, if you hold XRP, this is bullish. Regulation equals clarity, clarity equals adoption, and adoption equals utility, which is what XRP has been waiting for. You better buckle up because this thing, it's got real. Let me get this. Good morning, Crypto said final deadlines for the US Spot XRP ETFs. We saw we had a delay yesterday with Franklin Templeton. That is pushed back out now until October, along with Wisdom Tree and CoinShares. They just keep pushing everything between the lawsuit and the ETFs. We know how the SEC works. Everything just gets pushed down the road. But at some point, they will have to give their final decision. And the final decisions start rolling out in October. There is absolutely no way that they are going to deny an XRP ETF, folks. And we get this to top it all off. Today's the day. And today's a big day. Canada. That's right. They just approved the world's first spot, meaning they need to hold it. And it's opening up trading today, June 18th, on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the ticker XRPP. This is huge. And trust me, the whole world, including the US, they are watching. This isn't just any fund. This is powered by Purpose Investments. If you haven't heard of them, they're the same heavyweight that launched Canada's first spot Bitcoin ETF. And they're not playing small ball here. We're talking Canadian hedged, USD denominated, and tax advantage access, all wrapped up in a regulated, easy to trade vehicle. No wallets, no keys, just pure XRP exposure. But guess what? Once again, Canada's leading the way. They were the first to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now they're the first with XRP. Meanwhile, what's happening in the US? It's a snooze fest. Everything gets delayed. We're stuck in legal quicksand, some might say, while other countries are out there building the future. The US doesn't wake up, we're going to lose the race in crypto innovation. Your president, He does not want that. He wants to lead the race. We're talking about capital, flight, jobs, and leadership being handed over to countries that are simply moving faster. Regulators in the US need to stop paying attention because this is how market leadership slips away. Now, let's talk numbers because this is where it gets exciting, and I like talking numbers. Spot ETF means real demand. Unlike futures, they require actually holding the asset. So, if a US XRP ETF gets approved, or 18 of them, we're talking billions of dollars in potential inflow. Look what happened with Bitcoin. 14 billion poured into the US Bitcoin ETF in the first 6 months. And Franklin Templeton, they got 1.5 trillion assets under management, and they are already circling XRP. Even a conservative 0.5% allocation is 7.5 billion into XRP. So that kind of institutional buying pressure, it could send XRP into a whole new stratosphere. We're not just talking about price action. We're talking about validation, about XRP becoming a legitimate, institutional, digital grade asset with mainstream adoption. This isn't just about Canada. It's a signal. It tells us institutions are ready, investors are eager, and the infrastructure is being built with or without US leadership. But here's the opportunity. If the US steps up, and follows Canada's lead, we could see a ripple effect, no pun intended, across global markets, and XRP could be at the heart of it. The door is opened, the capital is ready, and XRP is stepping into the spotlight. Let me know what you think about this. Should the US follow Canada's lead and approve a spot XRP ETF? Are we going to see the US wait all the way until those deadlines for final comment and final approval? Or are we just letting the future of finance slip right through our fingers, folks? Comment below. I'll get back to those comments this morning. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please hit that thumbs up button. It takes you 2 seconds while you're doing it. It is the freest way to support the channel and helps push the video up. The more thumbs up, the more YouTube pushes the channel in the algos and sends out the video. The more eyes on the video, the more subscribers we can get, and we can rebuild this channel from the ground up. I'm going to leave it like that. Look, I'll catch all you on the next one.